Oh man, oh you're gonna like this one. I made a video last week that pissed off half of the country of Mexico. Maybe. But the hate comments coming in calling me a genderfier were possibly the best thing that happened to me all week. And to be clear, I didn't say anything negative about Mexico. I like Mexico. I really love it. But a guy that looks like me saying that they liked Mexico in the right way, I thought it might get some attention, and it did. Because while 300 people were typing angry comments about how I need to leave their country, the algorithm was pushing my video to 30,000 people. And I wasn't even watching it happen. I posted it and then went to bed. And the next morning I woke up to chaos. And I thought, you know what, let's just throw some more fuel on this fire. 2 years ago, this would have destroyed me, like it would have at least ruined my week or possibly a month, but something is shifting. And I think to understand it, I need to go back to when my friends and I were doing stupid shit on the internet. Before the internet knew how to be permanent, we were planking on everything. Planking was this early social media trend where you would basically like lie as stiff as a board on like mailboxes or park benches or anything that you could balance on, and then have your friend take a picture, post it online as proof. Other people would see it, one-up you, or try to hit the same spot you did. It was kind of like a blend of geoguessing and like graffiti artists who can push the barrier and hit the more like ambitious spot. And ghost riding the whip, oh man, I loved doing that. You'd pull up to a friend's house and then you'd hop out of the car while it was still running, and you'd like do a dance next to the car with the door open while it's still cruising. You'd get on the hood or something like that while the car just like rolled down the street. It was the best way to show up to a party. And this was back when the original Four Loko was still legal, so you can imagine that our decision-making process wasn't exactly pristine. But nobody called it cringe because it wasn't even a concept yet. And more importantly, nothing lived forever. There were no hashtags making your dumb decisions searchable, no significant digital footprint on social media following you to job interviews. Just pure stupid fun that disappeared into the void after a few days. Back then, Instagram only had like 2 or 3 million users. You could actually scroll and reach the end of your feed, like you catch up to all of your friends' posts. You've caught up to social media. I had like an iPhone 2G or 3G and it felt like the future. But nobody was thinking about building a personal brand or optimizing for engagement. We were just posting whatever seemed fun at the moment. And we had this beautiful immunity of judgment because we didn't even know we were supposed to care. But somehow between then and 30, I lost some of that magic. You could call that maturing or growing up, but it's worse than that. I started caring about what people thought. I started second-guessing posts, started writing captions and editing them. I started taking photos and sitting on them. What if they weren't perfect? What if someone judged them? And then I realized that caring is the literal death of creativity. When you're trying to please everyone, you create nothing worth remembering. The feeling of cringe is like wearing a weighted vest or like heavy chains while everyone else is running around being free. And the bummer is we're putting those chains on ourselves. Watching people who don't have that weight absolutely fly by us and chase their dreams. And we're stuck at the starting line, worried about how we look. Gen Z kids get so much credit for being like creative geniuses and taking over every platform. But do you want to know their actual secret weapon? It's not because they're more talented or more creative or they understand the social media platforms or the technology better. It's that they literally never developed that cringe response that paralyzes everyone else. They grew up in a world where trying hard wasn't embarrassing, where showing enthusiasm wasn't desperate, where posting a video talking about whatever random thought that popped into your head at 2 a.m. was just normal behavior, not some calculated risk that required 3 hours of caption drafting. They don't have the chains on, so they can accelerate incredibly fast while we're still warming up. I'm calling it now. Cringe is the new it word of next year. For everyone else is late. Everyone who's too scared to embrace it today is going to get lapped by some kid who's not scared of looking stupid. And suddenly, everyone is going to be trying to be cringe. In a calculated way, that makes it even more cringe. Like when big brands try to use memes like 6 months too late. You know what's actually embarrassing though? You know what should keep you up at night? It's not posting a video that people hate. It's being so terrified of judgment that you never post anything at all. It's just sitting there, scrolling, watching Gen Z kids live out their dreams and build empires. While you're paralyzed worrying that someone from your hometown might see your content and think that you're trying hard. Really? But reality is, they're not thinking about you at all. They're either doing nothing, so it doesn't matter, or they're busy achieving their own goals. Every viral video looks stupid to someone. Mr. Beast is closing in on $1 billion. And I guarantee half the comments in his videos are people calling him cringe. But do you think that he legitimately cares what some random user says about his thumbnail face when he just gave away a $2.5 million private jet on a video? Like, the gap on people doing things and people commenting on people doing things has never been wider. And somehow we're still scared of being on the wrong side of that gap. The algorithm doesn't care if people love you or hate you. It just cares if they care enough to comment, to engage. And when you understand that, the whole game changes, because you stop trying to avoid creating negative reactions and you focus on creating reactions. Which is why I can post a pretty fun 15-second video and get hundreds of people calling for my deportation and feel good about it. Because those angry, uneducated comments are engagement, and engagement is currency. I used to think the internet rewarded perfection, but it actually rewards people who stopped trying to be perfect and started trying to be interesting. And there's nothing interesting about playing it safe. There's nothing memorable about perfectly crafted posts that offend no one and appeal to everyone. That's just digital wallpaper that everyone just scrolls past without thinking. My game isn't to be loved by everyone, and my personal brand identity isn't necessarily to be hated either. This viral video wasn't on brand for me at all, and I'm probably not going to make more like that. Or maybe I will, because from now on I'm just going to make and post anything that I want. So I don't know, and that's powerful. It was just an experiment on my content journey, an exercise in letting go and embracing the cringe. And it paid off in views and followers. And most importantly, it paid in teaching me that I can post something completely off-brand and the world doesn't end. The fear of looking cringe online is this prison that we built for ourselves. And the door isn't even locked. We're just scared to try the handle because what if someone sees us trying? The embarrassment that you're so scared of lasts like maybe 48 hours before the internet just moves on to the next thing. But fear lasts forever. The fear of embarrassment, the what ifs will live with you for years, paralyze you from creating anything. Giving into the fear of what others could think is literally choosing a lifetime of regret over a couple days of mild embarrassment, potentially. Internet embarrassment is fake. It's just strangers on screens that don't know you, making judgments on your whole life based on a little clip of content. And then 5 minutes later, they've forgotten you exist. Moved on to the next thing to be mad about. Social media will do that. It's constantly feeding you information. Whether you want to ingest it and give positivity or ingest it and give negativity, it will serve you something else and something else and something else. So they've already moved on. They're already talking shit to someone else. You're still paralyzed by this person that you'll never see's opinion that they've already forgotten that they had. Posting that viral TikTok was a big leap for me to learn to embrace cringe again. Stop playing defense and just start playing offense. Stop worrying about what could go wrong and start focusing on what could go right. And honestly, I'm learning that when you're willing to take the risk to look stupid, everything opens up because you're not trying to avoid criticism anymore. You're trying to create something worth criticizing. And that shift from scared to strategic, from paralyzed to playing, that's when you realize that embracing cringe isn't just some motivational bullshit. It's quite literally your competitive advantage when everyone else around you is too scared to even hit post. So when your competition is scared to start, doesn't that make it way more possible in your mind that you could win? I'm reclaiming my cringe and learning to let go of all of the things that ever prevented me from starting to be creative. And you know what I'm finding out? Life is way more fun when you're the one in the arena getting messy, instead of sitting in the stands, keeping your clothes clean, commenting. Like, yeah, maybe I look stupid sometimes, but at least I'm playing the game. And the game is actually really fun when you stop thinking about the score that everyone else is keeping that's not on the field. Stop waiting for permission to be cringe because no one is going to give it to you. And just do it before the opportunity is gone. Or you'll just be watching the next wave of creators who figured it out before you did. It's a superpower, so just activate that superpower that's been sitting there dormant the whole time, waiting for you to realize that the thing that you're most scared of is your biggest asset if you flip the script and use it right. Because I'm telling you, from someone who lost it and found it again, life is so much better on this side. Cool.